Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video. Welcome to the suburbs of Moscow. Yes, I'm not in Moscow center today. I'm out in the regions, and I thought I'd come to this very, very large shopping center. Now, there is actually an IKEA attached to it, but this place is big. This is actually a mega shopping center, which is owned by IKEA in Sweden, but it's actually a whole lot more than just the shopping center, so let's go and check it out. Now, just to get some kind of idea of how big this place is, so firstly over here we've got the IKEA building and the parking lot, and obviously the fact that it's closed, there's a lot of empty spaces. Even the parents parking here and handicap parking is empty. And then this is what makes up the shopping center here, Belaya Dacha. So there's basically the IKEA is attached to the shopping center, and then way off in the distance is a huge supermarket called Ashan. And if that wasn't big enough, you can see this very big raised walkway here, which goes across the other side of the highway over to the other side where is Belaya Dacha continues. Then over there they've got Nvidia, which is a huge electronics store. They've also got Obi, which is like a gardening center, and there's also Hof, which is the nearest competition to IKEA. So there's actually a Hof already here. So there is talk that Hof might buy out the IKEA locations, which would kind of suit them perfectly, actually. But have a look how empty the car park is. Now, I've been here quite a few times. It's actually a long way from where I live, but we have been out here shopping quite often because it's got everything in one location, or it did. But now there is empty spots everywhere. Now, just before we walk on inside and go up to the first level, so we've got here the Russian flag flying away, and then the Swedish flag are right next to it, because the Swedish company, which is part of IKEA, own the shopping center, so they're flying their own flag right there. There's no regional flag here. There is at other shopping centers, but the Russian flag and Swedish flag side by side. Now, after coming on upstairs to this first level here, the one thing that's very noticeable is how incredibly quiet it is. Now, the Uniqlo just there is actually not open and trading, but over here it's very interesting. So IKEA, although it's actually closed, it's open for online shopping. And then what they've got set up outside here, which is kind of looks like an airport in a bit of a way, they've actually got the pickup for online orders. Now, at the moment, over the last couple of days, over the weekend, they closed down the website because they had too many pickups. And then what they've allowed to happen is for all the people to come and pick up their pre-orders and take them away, of course, and then reopen the website for trading again. So you're actually going to see people here with IKEA stuff on trolleys, because although IKEA is closed, it's kind of open. Alright, so check it out. Someone over here has got some stuff to pick up, and have a look at that. Looks like they bought a bed and a mattress, and the pickup system is working. They've got not too many people here at the moment because all of their pickup slots have basically been exhausted. But so what they did over the previous week was everyone could shop online and then order their items and shop for whatever they needed, and then there was pickup slots given to you. So basically 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock each day, and you could come and grab whatever you wanted. So this was actually what was previously the exit. And then have a look, the cafe is not here, but IKEA is still here. So you'll see here the line for everybody coming now to pick up their online order. So they basically just present their receipt from their email for their pickup time. Some people even printed out their shopping list so they know what they're going to get. And then they've actually got the cash registers just like normal. It's obviously a little bit sort of closed off and simplified, but it's all there. You just basically do exactly what you need to do. Everything's pre-ordered, so there's no shopping actually in the IKEA itself, but you come and grab your stuff. And then the one thing that really is going to suffer is all the shops right across here from IKEA. So whenever this place is closed effectively, the shops nearby are going to get basically no traffic whatsoever. And here we see actually the Lego store closed at this location. It's actually open in all the others that I've been to, but here it's definitely closed. Look, there's even another person here with a big trolley here with I guess some kind of furniture that she's gonna take home and put together. So walking on a little bit further here, you can see how quiet it is, and they're actually even in the process of repairing all the floors at some point. So the remodeling the shopping centre kind of never really ends with these places because they're so big. And there is a few people here, but definitely feels quiet. Then you can see a couple more shops closed here. So Nespresso, and then there was a Sony shop. Not too many Sony shops around, but there was one here. And how quiet does it feel? And then this is one of the main atriums here on this one side of the highway here, where is the Ashan, or as it reads there, Awa, but it's really called Ashan. This is a huge supermarket, like it's massive inside. It's an entire video in itself, but you can see here, this is kind of the main lobby area where is the food court here. Even this area feels empty. It feels like they've sort of removed a few things. Tables and chairs have been taken away. Let's check out the food court. You can see just ahead on the left and right hand side. So again, we've got Baskin and Robbins right here. And I wonder what's happened. They've had their flooring kind of taken up. So I wonder if the tables and chairs have been removed. Very interesting. We can see NVIDIA on the right there, and then the Reebok store here is closed. Polo Association is open. As we swing around a little bit more, you'll see here this was where the Starbucks used to be, and they've also taken up the flooring here, which would have been the outside seating. So they've just put a temporary kind of area here saying that they're doing some remodeling, but this would have been where all the seating would have been. So it seems like every shopping centre I'm going to, Cinnabon, is definitely here and definitely open. There isn't anybody doing any orders right now, but they're definitely trading and open. So this first takeaway place was actually where the McDonald's used to be. So this is where probably the future Kotelniki Tochka will be when it eventually reopens, but you can actually see the screens on inside, which is kind of interesting, but they pulled down the grills entirely. And then there's Terimok, Krochka i Tochka. And at this shopping center, the KFC is actually closed. Now, all the other places that I go to, the KFC is fully open and trading. So that's interesting that KFC has been removed from this shopping center already. So I guess with McDonald's gone and KFC gone, Burger King wins. There's actually a little bit of a line here for Burger King. And right next to it is a Pizza Hut, which I don't think I've actually seen a Pizza Hut around Moscow in the last 5 months. So yeah, there's a Pizza Hut right here. I know they used to have them, but I just don't remember seeing them anywhere. But have a look here. There's lots of families and kids, of course. But it's a very popular spot. Currently it's school holidays here, so you're going to get always a nice crowd at this shopping center. I think walking down the aisles here, you do get a definite idea of how empty this place is. Actually, how wide the shopping center as well is. I always point that out. Lee Wrangler's here. New Yorker. And then off on the left here, the Tommy Hilfiger store is closed, and then Kiehl's is closed. So yeah, it's definitely much quieter walking around. And then here we see the English department store, Marks and Spencer. So again, this is pretty much open, or it has been open in every shopping center we've visited. But there is not too many people in there. It says there's a sale going on, but only 20% off. It's not very enticing, but it's actually a big store. And then just having a look at these two stores here, Sinsay and Krop. So these are actually the same owners. And these were actually a Polish chain of stores which sold out to a Chinese consortium. Now, part of the changeover was they were going to completely rename the stores, they were going to rebadge everything, but it makes me kind of think, have they really done that? Because in all the stores I've been to, barring one shopping center, there is no changes inside at all. So the names are still the same, the branding is still the same, and it's unchanged. And then walking down the next aisle on the other side of the food court, we've got Calvin Klein right here, Calvin Klein underwear, and then Giok, I'm sure I'm still pronouncing this wrong. These guys are fully open. And then, actually most of the stores on this side are all open here. Aldo, I think it's Aldo Shoes. These guys are trading. And we have Mavi. I'm not too sure the brand Mavi, but it is pretty empty inside. There's literally, I don't think there's a couple of people inside. So, yeah, you can see how quiet it feels walking around. And this is a very big shopping center too. It's considered, I think, by many as the second largest in Moscow and Moscow region, based on the sheer size of the place, being that it's on two sides of the shopping center. And then walking up from the other entrance on the other side, how bright is it here? They've got huge glass ceiling here and skylights. I still don't know why they leave the light switched on in some of these places, but it's so bright. But H&M is no longer. And then I think maybe over here was Victoria's Secret before. I'm not sure of this exact spot on the corner here, but you can sort of feel and see how empty it is and how little amount of shoppers are here. H&M Home, and yeah, the phone cover places live on forever. I think they'll never disappear in Moscow. Yeah, as I walk around here a little bit, actually there's Gap just in front of me as well. I'm always looking for Gap, and I find it when I'm not looking for it. The Zara store here, and then look at this, nobody around whatsoever. There's a little coffee shop guy here who's hoping for Zara to reopen, then he's going to be swamped with people. But for now, it's just empty and echoing in here. Walking along a bit further here, I'm the only person on this side of the shopping center. The stores are open, but there's nobody around. I mean, there's literally a couple of guys walking towards me off in the distance, but that's it. Mango on this side is closed, and there's a couple of open stores here, but very few people around. And here's even a Mango Kids store, which I think I haven't seen anywhere else before. But yeah, it's definitely quiet. The stores here are open at this end, but very few people around. Of course, there is people going here shopping, but this isn't the assortment of shops that they probably really want anymore. You can see now from this walkway between shopping centres how quiet it is. Actually, it's a bit echoey up here as well, but just how huge this car park was built for this IKEA side and how many cars are here. They've even converted one part of it to a little play area with outdoor seats and a little mini football field for the kids, but it's just empty. And then again on the opposite side here, again, you can see the kind of vastness of this place. This is the outdoor parking. There is the entire underground of the shopping center, which is also parking as well, but if you'd come on here any other day of the week, particularly before February, in this place you'd be struggling to find a car parking spot. And then on this upper walkway between the two shopping centres, there is a few more people around, and there is a few more people with bags, but it's still pretty quiet. Tutti Frutti ice cream here. Good excuse to stop between shopping centres. And there's even an Ilonka store, which is probably Russia's most famous chocolate. that most Russians don't really eat. It's mostly taken overseas as a giveaway chocolate to all your friends, but you can get it in any store in Russia, and they've got entire separate stores dedicated to it. So now we're on the other side of the highway, and in the second part of Mega. The place again is called Belaya Dacha. That's the kind of region or where the shopping center is. And there's actually a merry-go-round over here as well for the kids, next to a huge children's store. And then this would have been Krispy Kreme, but it's now donuts and coffee. Yes, Krispy Kreme has basically disappeared, but all the donuts are exactly the same. You can even see how similar the box looks from here. Check that out. Now I really need to show you this place. This is actually a perfume shop, but it's kind of a department store size, and it's meant to look like a street. Now I'm not too sure if it's meant to be a street in London, which I imagine it is, but it kind of mimics that with all the different fragrance houses here. So Giorgio Armani, Chanel, Lancôme, Guerlain. So yeah, how neat is this? It doesn't sort of feel like a shop at all. It's down a progression of steps, but it's just fantastic. But I'm the only person in here. Yeah, just walking around here, I have found one shopper, but it's actually a really amazing store within a store, let's call it that. And just the way they've kind of designed it as a street, kind of in England, I guess. It's the best description. You see how big the shopping centre is and how high the roof goes up here. The Burberry of London, and what do we see? An English phone box. Now, as I walk around this shopping centre, I just want to tell you a very quick story. Now, about 2 years ago, I remember coming to this shopping centre on my own without my wife. And I remember walking over between the two shopping centres, and it had been that full, I kind of panicked. Because I didn't know where the exit was, I didn't know how to get home or where the bus stop was to catch the bus, because it was so full of people that I kind of panicked when I was in here. And I'm coming today, and I feel like I'm the only person in the shopping centre. Just have a look here from the upstairs level. You can see how quiet it is now. So the one thing that they do very well in a lot of shopping centres in Russia is they create these entertainment kind of parts of the shopping centre. So you'll see here like the ball kit and the electric cars and then the ice skating rink. So they kind of give you other reasons to come here, not purely just for shopping. But you can see that this place is empty. Now, I really don't want everybody kind of to think that I'm intentionally trying to find, quiet parts of the shopping center and filming only that, because I'm just basically walking around. Again, this is the second side of Belaya Dacha here. So this is on the opposite side with Hof and Obi, which are very major stores on this side as well. And this is the second food court, if one wasn't enough on the other side. And there's really nobody over here. There's a few tables, and that's about it. I think it's even hard to get a feeling for the amount of space there is here as well. I mean, they do overly build these shopping centers. I mean, I don't think really of having a second one on the other side of the highway was hugely necessary. I mean, I guess going back a few years ago when I came here, and I was just in shock how crowded it was. And then now, you're struggling to find people. And have a look from on this other second level over here. Now, this upstairs area over here was another extension of the IKEA. And they had basically like a mini store on this side with the cafe. Now, it's a bit hard to make out that it was there, but... And then you'll see downstairs, a few people walking around, but not really that many. And here is Fridays. This is TGI Fridays. What happened? It's just called Fridays now. And there is literally 4 people in there. And this is the end with the cinemas as well. And a couple of people going in and out there, but just empty. I'm going to keep saying it and saying it. This is really a beautiful food court on this side of the shopping centre here too. This is more of a restaurant style kind of fast food area where you sit down at a proper table and chairs and you can really come for the day essentially. You know, do some shopping, stop for lunch, keep going. But look, it's just you and I. So another major tenant of this shopping centre was actually Decathlon, which is the place right in front of me here. This was a multi-brand kind of shoe store, clothing store, sports store. Very similar to Sportmeister, so if you've seen my other video, you'll know what I mean. This was kind of the competition, if you like. And this end of the shopping centre, again, it's just so quiet because people just aren't having a reason to come down and visit this end. On the left here is the very big hobby store that we've seen a few times in different shopping centres. But it's just quiet everywhere. So we'll just walk on a little bit further here and we'll see just, again, just how big the shopping centre is. It's essentially 2 shopping centres with that huge walkway over the main highway there. So it's just amazing that they've managed to kind of join them together so well. I mean, it's one shopping centre essentially, but they split it over 2 areas. There's a few shops closed here. You can see Levi's on the left. Most of them are all open on this wing. That's why there's a few more people walking around. It's one main thing I want to point out about these shopping centres and why they seem so quiet, even with a few stores closed here and there. I mean, a lot of people in Moscow won't necessarily travel to the other side of Moscow region to go to a shopping centre. In Australia, we would do that. We would drive half an hour to go to a different shopping centre. But where we live in my district in Moscow region, pretty much all the stores here in this mall are in the mall where I live. So why would I travel an hour and a half out of my way to come to a very similar mall again? Yeah, it just keeps going and going, this shopping centre, and I really don't want the video to be too long, but just walking around, I'm trying to find people. You'll see pretty much most of the people you see in the middle of the 2 shopping centres, where they're going back up the travelator to the other side and then coming down to the second side over here. But it's a big place. I can't stress it enough. What do you think, everybody? Do we need these double-sized shopping centres? Then walking around a little bit further here, we come across a few of the shoe stores that are closed. I kind of feel a bit sorry for this perfume lady here because she's kind of wedged in between all of these closed stores, and then she's almost in the dark over here because all the shops have got their shutters down. It just keeps going. I didn't actually walk around the whole shopping centre. Actually, when I was here last time, I didn't even get to nearly half of these stores, so I didn't even know all these were over here. Check this out. So we saw this from upstairs when we first came over here, but I thought I'd come on down to check out the ice skating rink here. There's a couple of girls doing a little bit of skating. Actually, today is a roasting hot day as well. It's about 30 Celsius outside. That's hot for Moscow. So it's actually nice to be over here by the ice rink because it's obviously refrigerated and frozen. So check that out. And then continue on walking here. We're almost walked around the whole place. I'm trying to kind of make it a little bit short and sweet, but it really is worth walking kind of down every aisle just to get a good idea of the place and, you know, how incredibly quiet it is. I mean, this is a massive, massive shopping centre. You know, the one thing to note here is that the owners of this is IKEA. Now, it's not owned by anybody locally here in Russia. Here we'll see at this place, the Nike store is gone. So I'll call it the Nike store. And then I'll say, sorry everybody, the Nike store is not here. They've actually took out everything from inside the place, literally. So And literally across the way is Sportmeister. It's a Sportmeister Pro as well. This is actually the place where the same brand of store that I got my shoes from. But the Pro store has a lot more items in here for different sports. More than just the kind of shoes and clothes inside. And then we see here, again, another laneway here where it's a bit quieter. It's kind of interesting. They've got a kitchen store here where you can actually get custom designed kitchens, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, this is actually kind of a bit of a house where it's kind of end of the shopping center. There's another one which is kind of neat. And I'm pretty sure where most people live in the world, shopping centers don't have doors in a shopping center. So you can actually come in here and buy yourself doors, which is kind of very, very cool. And then we're just in the back corner now of the shopping center. And this is Obi here, which is a massive homeware store. Now, I guess in America, I'd consider it close to Home Depot. In Australia, Bunnings. But imagine going to a shopping centre and being able to do that in the same place as you do all your food shopping and everything else. But the Obi is very, very large. And then just next to Sportmeister, I kind of walked past it, heading down towards Obi, is Hof. Now, Hof is a store very similar to IKEA. It almost mimics IKEA, is the way I'd kind of describe it. And that's on the opposite side of the shopping center here, whereas Obi. So everything on this side hasn't lost its major anchor tenants. You could literally spend an entire day in this shopping center. I mean, if every store was open, you'd be here maybe a day and a half. Luckily, this place is open 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. every day, so there's no break for these guys working here. This is El Dorado, which is another major electronics store, home electronics, very similar to M-Video. So we've actually got one of these in my little local shopping center as well. So everything you need in one place. Okay, everybody, so we've come to the end of the video. Now, I just thought I'd give you a few closing comments because I get a ton of comments that I have to reply to. I'm perfectly happy doing that. Just keep it nice, keep it friendly as much as possible. But this shopping center today when I'm here, this is late afternoon as well. Actually, there's a bit of a thunderstorm kind of just off ahead of me here, so I don't know how it'll be getting home, but it's a big place. It's essentially two shopping centers with the walkway right behind me. I think we can see that right up here. That kind of separates the two different shopping centers. So imagine where you live, one shopping center, then there's a huge walkway with actually shops right the way down the middle of that walkway as well. And then another shopping center on the other side. So you've got huge supermarket in Ashan. You did have IKEA, of course IKEA's not there. And then over on this side, you've got an entire Home Depot, or Obi is the name of it here in Russia. I've got to say Home Depot because I'm used to that from America. And then you've also got a major sports store on this side. And you've got Hof, which is basically IKEA's major competitor. So you could be here for, I reckon, 2 days if you were to come and pace yourself shopping. But yeah, it's very empty. It's very quiet. There's very few people here. I'm trying to show people in the video walking around, but you can see from the car parks how empty it is. There's a lot of transport to get into this place as well. It's right near the major highway, the Makad, which is just off behind me. So there's not an excuse to get here. There's 1,000,001 buses to get into this place as well. So there's no reason not to come out here, apart from, oh, I'm just passing under some trees, apart from the fact that it is maybe quite a long way from where you live. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. We're nearly at 10,000 subscribers, nearly. So yeah, thank you. If you want to subscribe, you're more than welcome to. Again, post some comments. Let me know what you think. Yeah. And I'm off on another adventure. I'm hoping to get home before this big rain comes. So I'll see you later, everybody. Bye.